Hello, everyone. My name is Elijah Wingfield, and this is my personal simple speech. My personal simple speech is about basketball and what it means to me. When you think of basketball, what do you usually think of? Do you think of NBA and its players? Or do you think of maybe friends and family playing with each other at parks? Well, I look at basketball as a symbol of prosperity, a way for youth or people like me and you to open doors for new opportunities in life, whether that be going to the NBA or even running a business, for example. Just a random example. My reasons for believing this are the many benefits that playing basketball brings to the person and the game to itself. Like I said before, basketball is a symbol of hope for people who may be lost in life in terms of happiness and stuff like that. One of my main points for why basketball is a symbol of hope is the happiness it can bring for youth and any other type of kid who wants to just have a goal in life. When I was a young kid, as a young black kid, not to, or just a young kid of minority, um, there were three main roads that were designated. One was becoming a rapper. Two was becoming an NBA or NFL player. And third was some type of activity in the streets. Now, I don't believe any of these are true. They are all stereotypes which I detest. However, that doesn't keep basketball from being an important part of my life. The way basketball has influenced me goes back to when I used to play it myself. Aside from being on teams, my best experiences were on AAU teams. Now, AAU is a type of program that allows older people, like adults, to help kids in achieving their dreams, whether it be through basketball or not, just to find some type of enjoyment through the game and play on a team and experience and feel that experience of the game. Although most people don't end up going to the NBA, there are still many people and opportunities that you can meet throughout the road that is basketball success. One of the examples for me is my little cousin. He's 11 years old and he loves basketball. I can tell. He always goes out and plays his heart out from day to night. I remember specifically him asking to play with me at 7 a.m. in the morning at a local court just so he can get better and play a little bit more, just so that he can go back and play again in the nighttime to play against more people. Because of that, he was able to create more bonds with people who were also looking for similar things, I imagine. This is a major part of why I believe, this is one of the major parts of why I believe basketball is such an important um, part of people's lives. Another point for why basketball is an important part of my life is the fact that it can be considered an art form, in my opinion. Now, Why would it be considered an art form? Well, as stated by NBA player Kyrie Irving, um, basketball is an art form since you can improvise and concentrate on what really matters, getting buckets, so to say, in the game. Basketball is great because it's constantly evolving. No matter what day and age, basketball is never the same as it was 10 years prior. Because of this, more and more players are developing new styles to their game to expand upon previous features and separate themselves from other players and to find enjoyment in the game themselves and have young players find enjoyment in those players since they have someone to learn from or watch find some type of enjoyment out of it. Basketball is an art due to the limitless possibilities through which you can express yourself on the court in terms of scoring, passing, or even just dribbling down the court in general. Speaking of dribbling, that is to me the main aspect of what makes it an art form. Dribbling allows you to create your own rhythm um, when it comes to playing a game the certain way. So you can separate yourself, like I said previously. This is great because it expands the community and culture around certain players and gives more motivation in general to kids. Um, it's been expanded upon um, extensively through a form of basketball called street ball, which is a less enforced version of basketball. Street ball really was around for a very long time, but it gained its popularity through a movement called and one. Now, if you haven't heard of and one, it's basically it was a moment in time that still goes on today where a great number of players would participate in street ball like games. Again, less enforced with no really referee. Or at least the calls weren't as enforced. So it allowed for more creativity on the court. And that's the main aspect of the art in the game, expressing yourself on the court. This has allowed for new culture and new communities to develop, as you can watch your favorite player do something that another player won't do because it's how they express their own form of that art. At least that's what I believe. My third and final point with what makes basketball so special and so hopeful to so many people is its effects on your health. When I mention health, I'm speaking about physical, mental, emotional, and social health because it has positive benefits for each. Since basketball is a sport, it's very physically demanding on you when it comes to playing well. Because of this, you need to grow your body and your muscles to be able to um, succeed well. As stated by Emily Cronkleton, for example, basketball is great for motor coordination, flexibility, the ability to think while moving on the court, as well as speed, agility, and strength. Those are just its physical aspects. The mental aspects are what are more important, at least to me. When it comes to the emotional and social benefits, obviously you play most forms of basketball are played on a team. When you're on a team, you have teammates, and with those teammates, you have to cultivate a bond so that you can play well with your teammates in order to win games and in order to find true happiness in that sense in the game. Because of this, this leads to success off the court as well. The more you're talkative and the more you're interacting with fellow players on the court, it can affect how you're interactive with them off the court as well as other people. It gives you more confidence, which leads to the emotional aspect. As basketball, like sports, is like I mentioned previously, a physically demanding sport, and whenever you're doing physical activity, more likely than not, you feel a joy from it. So because of that, that joy can lead to maybe more confidence and more um, just ex- like happiness in general. It can lead to the elimination of anxiety, at least partially, since you're not really worried too much. Your worries are expressed on the court. So I believe it's one of the many benefits that can be had from playing. Overall, the game of basketball is many things. It is a combat sport as much as it is an art form, a way to deepen connections with others, and as a path to success on and off the court. There are countless stories of people mentioning how basketball is a great part of their life or even is their life. In conclusion, basketball may be just a sport on the outside, but on a deeper level, it is a way for youth and mostly people of all ages to find a general form of success for themselves, or at least motivate that success on and off the court.